Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you. Legislator Laura Curran.
Here.
Legislator Carrie Salage. Ranking Member Arnold Drucker. Here. Legislator Mr. Gaylor.
Here.
Legislator Denise Ford.
Here.
Vice Chairman Dennis Dunn. Chairwoman Laura Schaefer.
Here.
We have a quorum, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, we have one item on the agenda. Clerk, item number 7-17. The resolution authorizing the county executive to execute an agreement between the County of Nassau, acting on behalf of the Nassau County Department of Public Works and Engel Berman at Jericho Common LLC. Motion by Legislator Dunn, seconded by Legislator Ford. Thank you. Is someone to speak on this item?
Good afternoon, Ken Arnold, Public Works. This is a contract with Engel Berman as a revenue contract. This developer is putting together a senior citizen development outside the current disposal district, but it's looking for sewer access on our Cedar Creek plant. The Cedar Creek plant has sufficient capacity. This agreement will allow that facility to connect to the plant and get disposal and treatment services.
Okay. Any comments from any of the legislators?
Legislator Schaefer, I have a question.
Who said that? Oh, Legislator Drucker.
Do we have any idea what comparable facilities pay the county for their out-of-district services, connections?
The annual fee is the same for all facilities. They pay the disposal rate of that particular year for disposing sewage at the treatment facilities times the amount of flow that they provide.
So it's based on the flow that they use rather than the size of the facility, or?
That is correct, based on the actual flow.
Thank you.
What is the size of this facility?
I believe it says 25,000 gallons per day of sewage is projected to be discharged based on the number of people that will be living at the facility.
I have one more question.
Sure.
Once we do this connection, is the county assuming any environmental liability for any contamination at the site due to any malfunction in the connection?
No.
Why is that?
We are not liable for anything on the property. We are only picking up sewage at our sewer line.
But even if it relates to the actual connection? Some environmental hazards that occurs?
I mean, something that would discharge into the pipe?
Correct.
That they would be part of our treatment program. We would be watching over that facility to make sure there's no illegal discharge of any materials.
Right, what if it's an accident?
Then we would go to our sewer use ordinance and proceed as we would do in any other private entity that connects to our sewer facilities.
But so we do have liability there, potential liability.
Potential to our sewer use ordinance, yes. I would say yes, sir.
Have we had any issues in the past relative to that question?
Not to my knowledge. No, restaurants we do with grease and things of that nature, but not typically in the senior centers.
Okay.
But would you agree that potential liability in the event of an accident that's unanticipated, of course, could be millions of dollars?
Yeah, that seems high. I'm not sure if that would be a true number of what could occur.
Well, you don't know. I mean, it's an unknown, correct? So,
Well, a small deli with the grease discharge could be millions of dollars depending on the impact.
so what about a nursing home like this? Or it's just a living facility?
Yeah. They would have to upkeep, all their facilities, all their pre-treatment on the property, and our inspectors would be in charge of making sure they follow all the pre-treatment permits that they have.
No, I recognize what their responsibilities are. I'm just saying from the county's liability standpoint, you kind of need to have some sort of idea of what your potential liability or exposure is. Is there any way for us to know that?
No.
How about insurance? Is there insurance that covers on their end
Let me look at the agreement, hold on.
Directly across from here. There, by the BCDG, whatever it is. It's not a big deal. They don't have to.
The question was regarding to insurance. The contract does not call for any insurance.
Can you repeat that,
Legislative
please?
portion?
I didn't hear what he said.
He said that is, the county doesn't require insurance. Okay,
So that means there would be no insurance to cover.
I guess not. But I guess, Mike,
Go ahead, Legislative Ford.
thank you. Mr. Arnold, you know, I can understand Mr. Legislative Director's concern, but how many, I mean, have we ever had any significant problems because of nursing homes and the sewage that is being pumped into or sent into our sewer system?
Not to my knowledge, and if there was any type of problem, it will be handled underneath our sewer use permit that has all kinds of criteria and penalties associated with it.
So then, while there may not be an insurance policy that would be covered, there are certain requirements set in place that can potentially protect the county in case of somebody doing something illegal or being very negligent on the
Yes,
part of...
there is, and we're required by the EPA to have the sewer use ordinance.
Okay, and like when you talk even about the restaurants, because I know I have a restaurant on my corner that, you know, sometimes we think that they do pump the grease into the sewage, and we're trying to always catch them, you know, but because I know that they have a separate, like a pumping station, whatever they do. But it's like, I mean, so obviously, aside from like sometimes, you know, like if you take a tour of the sewage treatment plant, which isn't always fun, like you'll see a lot of rags and like a lot of other debris somehow or other that makes its way into the collectors or whatever they're called. But we've never had any significant problems so in regard to this, so that we can feel rest assured that having another entity hook up to our sewage treatment plant won't pose a great risk.
We're related to nursing homes? No, we have not.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Oh, I mean, a nuclear reactor to leak for the first time, and no one ever thought that was going to happen either.
I'm not dismissing what you're saying. I'm just saying that I understand your concern, that, you know, we're investing a lot of money into our sewage treatment plants, and we want to make sure that we continue the integrity of it. But I guess on past practices, but I think that there seems to be things in place that can help protect us. I mean, we even found out that people go into the sewer lines and stuff, contractors have dumped cement down into to the storm drains and stuff. So, I mean, there's no way of us catching it, but, you know, this can happen. And I understand, but I think that if we can make sure that, you know, I don't want to see anything go wrong, but I think that maybe since we do have some things in place, that maybe it'll help protect us from, like, a devastating,
Yeah, that's the idea, but, you know, you always feel a lot more secure when you have insurance that's backing you up.
Yeah.
We don't have any insurance here.
But I think because of the regulations, the
Right, the
requirements, I
requirements.
think that in the absence of an insurance policy, that we can go after people that knowingly or even by mistake, they, we could go after them for something like that.
Let's say, Drucker, as a former legislator, this is a common practice for developers to try to want to hook into our sewer system. We're not insuring anything on their property. Whatever they do on their property and their part of the sewer system is separate. Gets tied into the county. So this is very, very common, and then they pay the fees accordingly. And there's a whole bunch of agreements that the development is subject to as far as disposal of sewage. So it's the same once they're hooked up as you or I or our homes in any residential area. But this is common practice any time a developer wants to hook into our sewer system, so they have sewers, and I don't even think some are even permitted in Nassau anymore, perhaps. But I don't know that for a fact. But I'm just saying this is very common, and as far as there is the liability is concerned, whatever on the development itself, we have no liability regarding that. They're just hooking into our system, so there's really no liability per se other than any of us would have with our homes, being hooked into the county sewer system.
So then there's no validity to the hypothetical that if there is a leakage originating from the actual connection, that...
If the leakage is on the developer's side, that's his problem, their concerns. It doesn't have anything to do with the county.
Well, the actual connection that's made, there's got to be some origin for it.
Once again, it would have the same problem with any other, connection anywhere else in Nassau County if there was a problem or the county has in place, provisions for that, so.
Okay, any more questions from legislators? Any public comments on this item? Okay. There being none, all those in favor of clerk item number 7-17, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, the item passes unanimously. Motion to adjourn, made by legislator Dunn, seconded by legislator Gaylor. We are adjourned. Public Works Committee is up next.